again, and welcome to my channel. It's not always about my opinion about the news, because sometimes you just need a break from all that crap. Sometimes I just want to sit there and share a story with you. You know, 31 years in the military, I definitely got stories. Good, bad, indifferent. It's going to be things that make you go, or things that make you go, what in the world were they thinking? Trust me, that's me in a nutshell. Some of the times that's what I was thinking when they did it. What were y'all thinking? Or even when something that happened to me, what was I thinking when I did it? But it's just like this. Everybody's got a story to share. Everybody's got something that's funny. Everybody's got something that they just want to get out in the open and to let everybody know. Sometimes the stories will be PG. Sometimes there'll be NC-17. I try to keep it NC-17 and not go into the X-rated scale, because I do have a few of those too. Not by choice, but yeah. So you're probably wondering about that sign that I have up there. One that says Kingpin? Yes. That was a name that was given to me during my first tour in Germany. Yeah. So I don't know what happened. This story is pretty much, I was 19 years old, just got to Germany, just learning out about the world, just trying to figure out my place. So before then, I began to write. I used to write a lot. I used to write poems. I wrote a whole poem book by the age of 12 in the sixth grade. My teacher was like, "Where did you get all these poems from? Where'd you get these poems from?" I was like, "I made them up. Some were corny, some was alright, some was like weird, but hey, you know what it was? It's just me being creative." So I always had the talent to write. So I adopted the name Kingpin from a friend of mine because growing up, I was pretty much the de facto nerd. I wore glasses, the typical de facto classic nerd. I wore glasses. I was awkward. I you still see that I stutter a lot, stammer a little bit, but I was I considered myself a nerd, and I was okay with it. I hated it, but I was okay with it. I accepted it. So once I joined the military, when I went off to basic training after my junior year, and I came back, I was I had a little newfound confidence, would say, and I began to understand who I was and what I wanted to do with my life, and That's where I started to experiment and find out what made me tick. So, long story short, I joined. I came back from AIT, decided that, hey, you know what? Alabama's not really where I want to be right now. Don't want to go to college. Let's go active duty. 6 months later, March of '89, I'm in. I find myself in Wurzburg, Germany, and poof, the legend of Kingpin begins. So, to say, long story short, I learned that I could dance, and I could dance very well, and that became my outlet. And when I was dancing, I didn't care what you thought of me. I didn't care what anybody how anybody looked at me. I was like, I'm just dancing. So a friend of mine, he was a up and coming rapper, and he was good. He had battles with Curtis Blow. That's how good he was. Even Curtis Blow had to give man props for it. And me and him was hanging out, and he came up with the name Kingpin because I was like, you know what, I was a, I was a dancer. I loved to dance. He would throw his rhymes down. I would get out and do my thing on the dance floor. It was great. Like we ran. I met my first wife. My first wife, yes, because he was dancing with her, and he told me, "Hey, come on down, dance with her," and I danced with her, and poof, went on from there. So yeah, that's the first story. That's how everything. That's how I became Kingpin. I became Kingpin because I dance. I love to dance. I love to write. And by the time I left Germany 6 years later, I had a book full of rhymes and a whole bunch of songs. And I put them down. I had put everything on wax. I didn't make any recordings or anything. I did make a small little demo tape. It's somewhere in there, hidden away. A couple friends of mine, we playing around one night. I still have the demo tape. Woo! Yeah, it brings back memories. Those some crazy times. But yeah, you'll hear more of those, more stories like that. But yes, Germany would, I would say anything, back in the 80s, late early 90s, Germany was the bomb. You could do you could do anything you wanted within reason, within reason and legal, and but as long as you got back to first formation in the morning, you were straight. You made it to the first formation, you were straight. Because we had some people that came to first formation, dressed in civilian clothes, busting through the front gate, standing there with civilian clothes for PT, 6 o'clock formation. Hey, I can't say he was late. He was just in the wrong uniform. But he was on time. He went upstairs, changed, and came back out. We had one sergeant. She came in. She stood there. But we knew she was pretty much lit. She stood there and she turned around and looked like this. And looked back. We was like, ooh. And next thing you know, they said, it's like, company, attention. Got to attention. She fell over back. She fell like a ton of bricks. Pow! I was like, ah. It's like, she was alright. She was just drunk off a rocker. Whew. But those days, those days when you're young and dumb, you didn't know. You had no care in the world. You just know that you were living life, and that's pretty much it. You remember those young days and go crazy. Don't worry. Stories get better. Life gets better. You get to learn and laugh. So, until next time, I'll holler at you. Peace.